Interesting to see what we get while we're down there.
63,000 people who perished there.
And with this one, with all the tuberculosis cases they had, with a lot of death in the place, I hear it's very active.
This case takes the team out of state to a widely known supernatural hotspot.
It's a skeleton.
A dead body.
Alright, so this is a special case. It's a big one. We were invited in actually by another team. We'll be working with about 2 others, so there should be about 3 teams total.
This large location requires assistance from 2 other teams, and this is the first case for one researcher. Does it end up being too much for her?
Well, I'm Casey. This will be my first shadow case. Seeing the building, it was pretty amazing.
Well, when we're coming down that hallway, that third one, the one coming from this building, blacked out suddenly and went back on again. And Kelly stopped me and said, "Did you see that?" I hadn't.
Okay, I'm fine. It's just weird. There was enough noise that we swore there had to have been another team in the hall because there was that much noise.
First initial shock of going into the building, I was extremely nervous, extremely anxious.
Last time I was here, from the 3rd floor on up became more active and active, and the 5th floor and the 4th floor were very active.
I know you probably had hundreds, if not thousands, of people come through here asking questions.
Oh, look at that lantern.
What was that noise?
I don't know.
It sounded like a man, didn't it?
Like a groan.
Was that you making that noise?
Does Waverly Hills keep the teams on their feet?
Actually, I really enjoyed teaming up with Paranormal Endeavors and Elite Paranormal Kansas City. We had a great time. A lot of walking, but good activity.
So this is a special case. It's a big one. We were invited in actually by another team, about 2 others, so there should be about 3 teams total as we're going to this massive building, so there'll be plenty of room to spread out.
I have not been there before. I'm very excited to go. I went online and did a little bit of reading. about the tuberculosis, and then it was, I believe, the elderly home afterwards.
I have been there personally, but it's been back 2006, I believe, was the last time that I was actually there. So it'd be nice to return. Since we've had Endeavors launched, it would be nice to go back there and do it the way that we have been traditionally doing it with our team and see what else we can encounter, especially on the spiritual side. Is the last time I was there was with a team that wasn't embracive of that.
This is going to be interesting. I've never been to an actual sanatorium before. And with this one, with all the tuberculosis cases, they had a lot of death in the place, and I hear it's very active. I've talked to a couple of other paranormal investigators that have been there, and they told me to brace myself, that it was going to be an active site and a lot of fun. And if you ever get scared as a paranormal investigator, this is a place to get scared at.
63,000 people who perished there. There's said to be quite a few ghosts, a couple of nurses, lots of different types of ghosts. And I've been pretty nervous. I've been able to stay up all night so I can sleep all the way there.
Excited, a little nervous. It'll be interesting to see what we get while we're down there.
Have you cheated and done any remote viewing or anything like that before?
Not on purpose, but I've had a few people that have been talking to me. So we'll see if they show up when I'm actually down there.
So can't wait to get on the road here, and we have about a 9-hour drive ahead of us, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm Casey. This will be my first shadow case. I've known Eric for a little while, about a year, and I've known about Endeavors since then. That's actually how I had kind of met him, was through when he was doing Metaphysical World, and then I had an interest in the team, but at the time couldn't join, and then now I have the opportunity to. I've had some paranormal experiences, not anything to a great extent, I suppose, but it has been something that I've slightly noticed since I was little. Something big that really stood out to me when I was, after my parents got divorced, I went to live with my mom. She is extremely allergic to fragrance, any kind of perfume, cologne. It's really bad. She'll get really bad migraines, her face will puff up. Well, I was sitting at the house alone, and all of a sudden I smelled a scent of cologne. And I had no idea where it came from, and the only thing I could think of is my grandpa Evans. That's the first thought that ran through my head, and that one has always stuck out to me because it was extremely strange.
Skeleton.
And he started.
Well, we have a couple pods that I know we're going to lay out. They're devices that have like motion sensors, motion lights, cell sensor EMF.
Do they alarm?
They do have that capability. I could set it to where it's...
Preferably not, because
Preferably
it scares the heck out of us.
Yeah.
We were in a basement once with this gal that set one up, and we didn't know it. We were like, ah! Where? And I'm like, what is panic? I feel like I need to get out of here. How do you shut this off?
Unless I guess when we're on that floor with it, we can have it on because we'll know where it is, and then deactivate the actual decibel system as we leave it and move along.
Okay. And don't forget, we all teams should have a walkie between us that we keep on the same channel just in case.
Or what channel do we want that on?
Yeah,
We use 8 over here, but we can use
we usually use 4, but we can just see what works best between us once you guys get your set. 8.
This will be my first shadow case. It's going to be a really big shadow. It's going to be a huge one, so I'm really, really excited. I know that Waverly is a tuberculosis hospital, which excites me. I don't know. I've been fascinated with sanatoriums and asylums read about him, wrote about him, so I'm extremely excited for this.
She had to do some pushing on me because I wasn't quite sure she'd be ready for this.
Well, I've known about paranormal endeavors for about a year through Eric, and then he had told me that they were going to Waverly Hills, so.
This would be a first shadow case, which initially I was against kind of at the beginning.
I kind of had to schmooze him into the idea of letting me go, because we've been doing ongoing training that's been going on for about a year.
And I'm also, since we're dating, kind of bringing some of that. And we've worked with couples as well in our team, and we have specific rules to prevent the conflict of interest. Is that you in 5 years, Clay?
Yeah, more or less.
We are at Waverly Hills again. It's my second time. Paranormal Endeavors, it's their first official time here. So this is the first floor with us, and the rest of them are going on a tour. And so we'll see here what we encounter.
But it wasn't the building that attracted me, it was the land around it. But seeing the building, it was pretty amazing. It's a huge, huge place.
Alright, upon entering this place, I got to work with Casey one-on-one, and they kind of split teams up, and so sent the other ones to another location. I got to work with her one-on-one, so it's really fascinating re-entering this building, and it was my second time being here, and it just two of us. I don't think I was even that isolated before last time I was there, so it was nice. We have a spirit interceptor ground unit below us leading the way. Alright, we got a really good test on the spirit interceptors because the long corridors and concrete and brick and just the hard structures of this pretty solid building really gave us a good test here. And they did. They ran, we switched off. We started with spirit interceptor 1, and that lasted for about the first 3 floors or so, and then we switched to spirit interceptor 2, not because the battery died. We just went ahead and did switch because I wanted to drive both and test them out. First place that we went to did an EVP session was the morgue. There's audio in here. This is just Eric and Casey, Paranormal Endeavors, ground floor. There is the morgue. Alright. I know you probably had hundreds, if not thousands, of people come through here asking questions. I know that some of the people you might not have liked. I know some visitors that come here you may not have enjoyed their company, and there might have been some others that you have liked or enjoyed. We're just here to communicate while we are here only. If you wish to communicate, you can make a noise, say something in any of the audio devices we have here, or pick up your voice. Not a lot had happened there, but we got to listen to the audio back, and maybe we did get some responses there. Are you happy? Do you want anything?
If you were making my life flash, maybe we
Noise behind us. We are at the death tunnel at Waverly Hills. This is Carrie, Eric, Casey, of Paranormal Endeavors. Is there anybody here with us? I kind of feel like there's somebody getting closer to you, Carrie, from the front.
I feel dizzy.
You
Told them they could touch me if they want to.
Okay.
Let me stay in this position for a second because I'm going to sit down with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sitting down. I'm not threatening.
Alright, for audio, this is Carrie, Casey, and Eric in the death tunnel. It's approximately 9:30. Waverly Hills.
I felt really peaceful in the death tunnel. It was like a, now it's the end, suffering's done kind of from the disease. It can be painful. More of that kind of feeling. Very first initial shock of going into the building, I was extremely nervous, extremely anxious. Didn't want to go down the hallway, but I used to be terrified of the dark. Probably my problem.
Oh, now it is. Getting some K2 hits. If that was you, could you do that again? Tilt. Well, we are tilted.
I brought an antique truck. It's about this size. It would have been my husband's, or maybe even his uncle's. So it would be pretty close to the time period that some of the people would have had when they were growing up. I brought a book to read out loud. It's a children's book. I brought some Easter eggs to give them because it's coming to be Easter. And I brought some decoration too, so if they want to decorate with me, they can. Who's going? I'm gonna leave this somewhere upstairs, probably the 3rd floor. In case anyone ever wants to turn it on. Do you hear that?
I did.
Was that you?
I heard that. Did you hear that?
I just feel like something's following me back. It's okay.
Yeah?
I'm creeped out.
You are?
Yes.
Officially, Carrie's creeped out.
We're working our way up there. We did death tunnel on the 1st floor, so the 2nd floor and 3rd are next.
Not flashlights,
Okay. We're going to slowly walk down to visit with you. Whoa. Back up.
I don't know if it'd be quieter on the
No,
steps.
keep going. I was just showing you this.
I felt a breeze right here, and I felt like I kind of was nudged to keep going.
Oh, I feel that breeze, yeah.
Which I know there's a slant, but it really felt like someone kind of nudged me.
Where? On your shoulder?
Just kind of like they bumped into you.
Oh, that was a long ways back, sure. Didn't have anything to do with me.
Pushed isn't the right word at first. At first I just felt like there was extra momentum going down the ramp. But then I actually stopped at one point and it really did kind of feel like I was pushed to the point that I kind of stumbled and I didn't fall, but I took a few extra steps after I meant to stop.
The phone version of the spirit box, Frank box.
If you talk to us, we can hear through this device.
I can't let you do it. Did you hear that? Can't let us do what?
There was something kind of urging us. Yeah, go ahead, go to the bottom. I dare you, go to the bottom. I'm not going to let you back up.
What?
I'm just getting really uncomfortable, like they're not going to let us go back up. I don't care. I'm fine. It's just Weird.
What's weird? I mean, be specific.
It's not really like I'm hearing somebody tell us we'll just keep going, but like I can feel that that's what they want us to do. It's like, yes, go further, just go further.
And you were even nudged in that direction at one point.
Yeah.
All right, let's go further. Don't you think?
Sure, other than the feeling that they're not going to let us back up.
You almost sound like you're on the verge of tears.
It's uncomfortable.
Do you want to leave?
No, I'm okay.
All right, you want me to leave? This is comical, I heard one of them say. All the way down. That's why we can hear the train so well, because we're just to a wooden plank.
I got an answer from a different one, not whatever's making me feel like we're not supposed to go up. But one of them was like, well, we never got to go back up.
Once you go down, you stay down.
But that's not the one that's been behind us, like, yeah, keep going. Go ahead, go. You know, and that's kind of how it is. It's almost like it's daring us, you know, like, go ahead, you go right on down to the bottom. Let's see how that goes. You know, that's kind of the feeling that's with it.
Well, we went down to the bottom and it went pretty well. What's your next trick? What are you hearing?
Back down the original tunnel that we had just come from, there was enough noise that we swore there had to have been another team in the hall because there was that much noise. So we went and we looked and there was nobody there. We tried to figure out what was causing it, couldn't figure that out. So that was pretty cool.
That's gotta be something else, right?
How do you do that? He's bouncing. He'll go from down there to up there.
All right, then we moved up to the second floor, and there wasn't as much activity down there. It seemed like we were getting a more feeling being watched and stuff on the first floor. But again, just like everything, we'll have to see what we get back through the evidence findings.
We had the second and third floor, which was next. They were grouped together. They were patient rooms. I thought that was really cool for the patient room because you could still see the walls and the big wooden doors that open up into the patio where the sunroom would, where they go and get sun. And then you could still see their closets and bathrooms were still intact.
No, it isn't. If it gets to be too much, I'll just go hang out with the folks down there. Right now, sitting in one spot is going to be the best thing for me. So this is the ITC. It's called instrumental transcommunication, and you can adjust different things. The TTS is the phonetic pattern, the voice, the part of it that you hear. If we turn down the white noise completely, you just hear that. And you can change the pattern a little bit on it, add patterns, subtract patterns, and you can also delay that. Yeah, that way you can just
that had to be really scary though. If you were over here and they moved you over to here, you knew you were in trouble. That just gave me the chills.
Yeah.
That had to be a hard move. And I wonder if you got moved based on space, so you might be over here, then you might be going up 3 floors and losing all your friends.
Doing a quiet session in this room, kind of by myself, but we're all close enough that if there's any trouble, we can see each other. But over here, I've got a K2 meter and a digital voice recorder. And what I did is I explained to anybody that might be here that I am not going to talk, not going to move. I was just standing here waiting to see if there was any response, that you could light the lights or talk into that, and I would hear it later. But if you had anything to say, now's the time to say it.
The storage room.
I wonder.
The storage room.
I wonder.
What was that noise?
I don't know.
Sounded like a man, didn't it?
Like a groan.
Was that you making that noise? Sounded like right out here.
Yeah.
Heard what sounded like a voice out loud by us.
Standing there, and all of a sudden we heard a man cough. And Clay, the only other man that was with us, Clay, was off on the other side of the wing doing an EVP session, a silent EVP session.
That's something worth something, so I'm hoping that we caught that maybe in the audio or the spirit interceptor audio.
About that light actually still moves. It's functional.
Oh, okay. Did the door slam?
No, it was cold when we got here.
I'm freezing.
I didn't bring up your hoodie. No one told me to, so.
I'm sorry.
So I was just asking if there were any nurses here.
I bet they were beautiful.
Inside and out.
Mm-hmm. To be in a place like this.
I just need a light on it. Is there anybody up here with us right now that wants to communicate and share your stories?
Okay, another shower room here with a closet, a place to sit down here, change your clothes. There's the shower room right in there.
In the window?
Yeah, for the peeping toms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think, or a vent, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
Clay,
okay, you know.
The peeping clays.
Yeah, you know. I'm a perv.
I thought we all knew this walking into this. So.
And I don't know if that's because you're kind of bored or tired, don't have the energy. I'm going to remove this for a change.
4th floor, I got to work with Clay a little bit. Sat down, did an EVP session with him.
Before going to spiritual, I just want to see if there's anybody down here with us. Alright, could you join us if you want? Make a noise, do something to just confirm that you're with us or that you're willing to communicate. If it's little Timmy who plays with the ball or likes to play games, or one of the men that we heard talk out loud.
Or even the nurses.
Alright, got a little hit on the K2. Are you a man?
And this right here is a K2 pointing towards the camera, so if something happens, the camera will be able to see it also.
This is Casey and Clay's first time here.
Yeah, feel free to come out of your rooms. It's okay, really. Is there access up there, or is that all
No,
closed
it's a
out?
little bell tower,
Oh.
machinery tower.
Okay.
And the 5th floor is where they used to take the children out to play and get some fresh air. We went up there, and the view was amazing. Our cameras couldn't quite capture it because of the low lux, but it's pretty amazing to be up that high and look out there, and the weather was perfect for investigation.
I was just asking about, you heard what she said about the projecting from that tower onto the front of the building, right? And I was just asking if there's anybody out here, what they think of that, if they get to see it in the Halloween time, and what they think of it when they do see it. You finally get to be on camera.
Gross.
You're not gross at all. Oh, that's going to be a great shot.
Flash. That doesn't help.
That you tripped.
Nope.
Almost.
That's a good shot. Now what are you doing, Eric?
I was just taking some pictures here and then moving the little interceptor around, which I have to get the remote again for. Just kind of been driving him around, both of them actually, one and then the other, from floor to floor to floor, and they've done actually pretty good. They've kind of followed us around just like little dogs, and this one's alignment kind of sucks, so it kind of goes all over the place, but I got to fix that later. But their range does pretty good so far.
But that's one of the things you really wanted to test on this trip, was the range.
Yeah.
Fourth and fifth floor, again, we're pretty inactive.
Figured maybe this would be a good experiment too. They might be curious with it. They might want to play with it, or maybe it looks like some kind of vehicle of some sort, has the four wheels and stuff that they may have been familiar with, maybe, if they've witnessed automobiles back in their day. But
In one of the pictures off the roof, my hair is in the photo.
it is.
Yes.
It does go on inside?
I think so.
Yep, and then the wall is off so you can go inside from there.
Oh, okay.
Room 502 had given quite a few people the heebie-jeebies, or something the feeling of sorrow and dread for the historical events that took place up there.
She was hanging out there, and possibly, and this is kind of where it gets sketchy, either botched or did the abortion herself, and then back then it was so much more than it is today. It was much more taboo to do it as unmarried, and you know, back then, and she did it out of wedlock, so
tragic.
Yeah.
Room 502, it's believed that a nurse had committed suicide, and there was also allegedly a story of an abortion, and it was horrible. It was horrifying going into that room. Not because it was scary, terrifying by any means. There was a whole bunch of graffiti that was out of line.
502 horror. Don't understand people.
That's not cool.
That's not cool at all. That's just awful.
Awful. That is so disgraceful.
502, what's that say? Incursion?
It says INCUR.
Incursion. Okay, I wonder why that would be relevant. Welcome to 502. Okay, well, I'm in 502 and I have a voice recorder here. I can't imagine the pain you must have suffered here. I'm so sorry that you had to go through this. It's just
uncalled for.
And this is what I was talking about down the hall. I can't imagine have been here all that time and then have some punk kid come in and do this. If it was a kid, I mean, you wouldn't even know that.
Because sometimes it's adults who come in here.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You deserve more respect.
Well, I don't know your name, but God bless you, and I will include you in my prayers. You're still here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you. I wish I could hold you. I've got to go back to work. Rest in peace. So you're kind of watching for marbles to move now?
I'm just kind of sitting here wondering if there's anything in here or not, and if there is, I let them know if they turn that light on. I will make the music box go again. If they move a marble, they touch me, I will do something. If they don't, I'm fine with that too.
And when I was up there, I didn't think I would ever be doing this thing at Waverly Hills, but I did a human dowsing rod, just a little brief session of it, and detected some energies definitely up there, of the younger sort.
A lot of yellow
This is someone's favorite color.
I picked up on someone wearing a kind of a bright, like a sunflower type dress, little girl, and she was very prominent up there.
Eric is doing his human dowsing rod, and it was always pointing towards the door. That's where he's getting energy. And I had already picked up on this little girl that pushed me, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Is there a little girl here?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I already met that little girl."
Very young girl, maybe 4 or 5 years. Median age of 5, I guess. Is there someone over my left? Are you ready to take pictures?
I'm just about ready to. And all I could hear was this little girl saying, "Where's Mommy and Daddy? Where's Mommy and Daddy?"
It was very nice to work with Angelique's team out of Omaha, and to work with her. The Paranormal Distraction team was pretty amazing to work with, so I'm definitely going to work with them more in the future.
Because I was walking and I hear a male voice, and it sounded like it was behind me, and then I look and Eric's right next to me. Or behind me, and I'm like, "Are you talking?"
But that's the one, maybe it's the same one we've been hearing, because a couple of us have been hearing a male voice.
This guy was having a conversation with himself.
Yeah.
I was just saying, as we were walking down here, hold on a second, because there's a male down here, and she's like, "Well, keep walking." And I said, "No, wait a minute, I'm trying to
We heard
identify him."
that cough
And
earlier,
then that's
too.
when you guys just had said that.
We heard like a male cough out loud, too.
Look at your eyes. Wait. Put your purr back this way.
Electric.
Okay, Mister, we're coming down to communicate with you. Would you like to communicate back? A male. What did it say?
Down.
Stop, just turn.
Con.
The Elite Paranormal out of Kansas City. Didn't get the chance to really work with them that much, but they seemed very level-headed, more so on the science base, which is good. That's fine too. And so it'll be nice to see maybe what evidence they found, or Angelique's team found.
Really enjoyed teaming up with Paranormal Endeavors and Elite Paranormal Kansas City. We had a great time. A lot of walking, but good activity. A lot of shadow figures, black and white, mostly colored, and hissing, growling, screaming, hair tugging. Quite a big activity. Just I don't expect more in places like this.
I know.
Sometimes.
Second or third time here?
Second.
Second time. More active the first time?
Yes, by far.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with sometimes the people that are around you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the gentlemen that used to be a tour guide here, I think he had a lot around him that liked to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
In summary, I thought it was an interesting place. I know it's definitely out of the norm, but it was interesting to go to, and I hope to have further adventures. Even if they're on a smaller scale, it'll still be interesting and fun to go with endeavors.
Doing a recreational case like this is fun time to time, but we definitely don't do it that often.